I took some couple notes of about and whatnot. So, series since Samurai Warriors 3, when it was a Japan-only release, I had it on the Wii, and but it was so hard trying to play the game and not, having a translation system, and I couldn't read hiragana or katakana. At this point in time, I can read katakana, hiragana, and some kanjis, but it's still not, as nice as being able to just play in my own language. So it's nice when they finally brought Samurai Warriors 3 over to an English version. Oh, wait, no, I wasn't playing it on the Wii. I was playing it on the... Yeah, I played on the Wii first, and then I actually bought an official copy on the PS3, but it was still in Japanese, which was rough. Anyways, that really got me into it, so I went to the Dynasty Warriors 7, and I've been playing since. One of the first games I actually bought on the Vita when the Vita came out was Dynasty Warriors Next, and I have since then kept up on all the Warrior series except for Dynasty Warriors 9, as I didn't have the money to pick that one up. So I feel like I have a pretty good grasp of the games. I really do enjoy them. Warriors of Orochi is probably my favorite of the 3 series, and I love Warriors of Orochi 3 Ultimate, and so I was really excited when I found out about Warriors of Orochi 4, which, oddly enough, I found out when it was on pre-order on PSN. I hadn't seen any trailers for it. So, pretty much it's what you would expect from a Warriors game, just basic hack and slash, a few tweaks and changes here and there, but for the most part, pretty solid game. One of the reviews I had already seen, I agree with. If you're a fan of the series, you're going to love it. If you enjoy hack and slashes, you're going to like it. If you've played, say, Hyrule Warriors or Fire Emblem Warriors, but you've never actually tried the original series, this is a good one to get into. I don't personally suggest going and playing past versions, because every time they have a new version, it's just a lot better. Bless me, sorry. And so usually when you play the new version and you go back, it feels a little rough around the edges. So I would definitely suggest, if you haven't played one of these games yet and you've been curious, this is the one to start with. Some basic, just pretty much it's a basic square, weak, triangle strong, jump, block, super attacking game. It's a really fun game. Some cons about the games. I want to do the cons first because I feel like I wanted the pros. Let's get the negatives out of the way. The first thing is some of the requirements when it comes to upgrading your camp are confusing, and you just have no idea what you're supposed to do because it doesn't really give you good information on it. So I think that's one of the major cons in the game, is the translation wasn't very good on that type of stuff. I had actually Googled it to figure out what to do, and that was really nice. And so I will make a guide after this just to kind of go through some things that might confuse you in this game. The other problem I have with it is when it goes to making a party, you have the sort feature by level, join period, blah blah blah, but you don't have it really by the force. You can, eliminate full forces, but that means that if you want to add like a character from each force, you have to eliminate these, alright, let's do this, okay, blah blah blah, alright, let's look for a new one, and you just have to keep doing it. And I think that I enjoyed the setup from Warriors of Orochi 3 in past series where it was just a list. Wei, Shu, Wu, Jin, Samurai Warriors 1, 2, 3, 4, and, they're just other 1 and 2, where you could easily boom, 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 find your character. It made searching a lot easier. I don't like the searching in this one because it's just, you have to literally dig through 170 characters as they're not in the order of their actual, or are they? Did I just figure that out? Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's one thing I don't have to worry about anymore. Alright, so I guess they did put them in order. I just never noticed until now. Alright, so they are in order. It's just, again, it's not... one of the things I think that's confusing in the game. For example, they could have just... Instead of putting it in the categories, it is in order, but I couldn't tell very well because you can still change the sortings of it. I think if you do this, does it still stay in order? Yeah. Alright, still says in order. Okay. But maybe that's also because I'm at the same level. I don't know. Maybe the default, if you're searching by something defaulted, might work. Because I'm all level 100 now. The third con of this game is the online mode. While the online mode is great, when you make a room, you can't access the party option, the upgrade option, so you can't trade party members. If you get a better weapon, you can't switch the weapon. If you get a different party member you want to use, you can't switch. You literally have to leave the room, do all the changes, then make a new room. Which, it gets tedious, so until you know exactly your party and you have everything set up that you're not going to change for a while, it's somewhat frustrating. Con number 4, the story was meh. I didn't feel the story was all that great, personally. I felt like it could have been so... I don't know, it didn't strike me very well. I didn't like the story that much from this one. I enjoyed the story from 3 a lot more when you had, when you actually in Ultimate, you dove into the origins of Orochi. That was cool. This one just... I don't know, it didn't feel as strong. My last major con is kind of a double one. First thing is Loki. First of all, I don't really care for the design of Loki. Too anime-ish. I mean, I get Japanese people, but I mean, look at Zeus. Zeus might be a little anime-ish, but he looks good. I mean, look at Susanna. Well, Susanna looks good. Look at Ares. Ares looks good. Athena looks good. These characters look like, they look relatable. Loki doesn't. Loki just looks like... I mean... I feel like they take away Loki's character more and more and more in games. I mean, you have God of War where they make Loki into the little boy and completely eliminate what Loki is. And I feel they did the same thing here. I mean... I personally think the best modern rendition of Loki is the Avengers Loki. I mean, Tom Hiddleston or whatever. That guy plays an amazing Loki. That is what Loki should be like. And Loki's character in this one and his design, I don't like it. I feel they made it way too animation. You gotta remember that, Norwegians are huge people. I mean, they're not tall, but they're burly, they're muscular. And I mean, the blonde hair, the blue eyes, this is something that you would more expect from Norwegian mythology, not Greek mythology. Greek mythology didn't really look like this. I mean, this is more Greek right here, the brown hair. But Zeus is fine for Zeus. I just wish they would have kind of carried more of these traits over for the other characters. On top of that, Loki should just... I mean, it just doesn't fit his character and personality. And I love his moveset, but the way they set it up, you can't get a move off without getting interrupted. It's so cool how how you switch between the things you do. I feel he's the most unique character in the game. But because he just gets interrupted by small enemies, you never get the moves off. And that was the big kill for me, because I really wanted to use Loki. I really like Loki, and I love Norse mythology, and Loki's one of my favorite characters from it. My other gripe, the design of Odin. Again, this is another one where just look at his model. I mean, look how thin he is. Again, this is the Norse Allfather. I mean, there are some things I like. I like, that you have the raven feathers on his hands. That's pretty good. But the pirate hat? I'm not a fan of the pirate hat. I mean, they did at least, make his one eye closed, but I would have preferred an eye patch. And why the hell is he riding on Gungnir? Again, he's not a witch. This drove me insane. And it's one thing, like, I love Odin. He's my favorite character in the game. He's strong as shit, but to be honest, I've loved Odin for, like, ever. So if ever there's an Odin character, I will always use Odin. And this design really depressed me out, because he looks like a witch. And he rides like, he's extremely feminine. And just the way he holds himself, like the crossing his legs, which, to be fair, in Japanese culture, that's how you cross your legs. You actually do not put your leg on your knee. That's to point the bottom of your shoe at somebody's considered rude in Japanese culture. So this is the typical way that a male would sit in Japan. But the sitting on Gungnir and flying like it's a broom, like he's a witch, that really is, for me, a big con. And I know most people might be like, well, it's a small thing. Yeah, it is a small thing, but again, I'm a big fan of Odin. I want Odin to look like Odin. I would have been, hell, if Odin had even just, had the body of, Zhao Yun. Alright, I could have done that. Body of Zhao Yun? Okay. Zhao Yun has a good body. I mean, there's so many bodies they could have used for Odin to make the body more, the body type feel correct. Where is Zhao Yun at? Here he is. Like, this would have been a much better build, I think, for Odin. Just the bigger build and holding his spear. Where is you? Like, this would have been a great setup. Just have him hold gun gear like that. I mean, I don't know, that's a big con for me. Again, maybe a small thing for some people, for me, that's a big one. Other than the design of Odin, though, he's really, really strong. I mean, you don't get stronger than Odin in this game. He can freeze time, which is useful for defensibility, and you know, some people are like, well, you don't need defense abilities in this game. That's not true. You see, if you've got somebody casting magic at you behind your back and you need an extra second to react, it's really useful. Or you're being juggled and you're not going to have enough time to really, you don't know where it's going to come from. Getting that time to freeze, it saved my butt a couple of times with Odin. On top of that, more importantly, it affects everybody in the arena, so multiplayer, awesome. You can literally, we went to kill Odin, I was going to kill Odin with a friend of mine to get his weapon, and I just kept him froze the whole time while my friend killed him. Because Odin is pretty hard to kill on Chaos unless you have the proper weapon build. So it's really a good skill. It does get a little less useful, it does get less useful when you get your weapon finished, but pre that, it's a really useful ability. It does reduce the damage you do to him, but still, it's a good ability. What else? The pros. Let's go to the pros, because that's about it for the cons. There's not many cons. The pros. The online setup, other than the con that I named before, is really good. In Warriors Orochi 3, you had to constantly re-invite and reconnect with your friends when you played. This one, you just make a room and you guys can continue boom, 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 boom. And that also means that if, say, if the host, it's really nice. So say you want to farm your unique weapons, you can just have player 2 pick the 2 characters and then jump back in the party and just do it that way, instead of having both people leave. And if they're fine just chilling, they can pick all 3 characters, and you just have your other character, the player 1, do all the killing. So it's a good way to quickly farm all of your weapons without having to reset your room every time. But yeah, the online mode is really good. The magic system, oh my goodness. I love the magic system, it's really fun. The way they added it, you pretty much get 4 new attacks. You get your regular magic attack, your charge magic attack, your unique magic, and then the unity attack. The unity attack beats the crap out of the triple attack from Warriors Orochi 3. It's just really cool. And it feels like it does a lot more damage. I didn't really care for the unity because you had to literally hit. This one, it's an attack, which is nice. The unique magic is sometimes better than Musuo attack. It usually costs 1 gauge of your Musuo and the magic bar, but I've seen it, there are times it's way more powerful than my Musuo attack. The charge magic, depending on the character, can be really good. Ares' charge attack is amazing. It's just like a Gatling gun, pretty much. And then you have your regular attack, which some characters use. Personally, I feel Ares is useless. He just rides on this dragon. It's cool, but useless. Odin's freezes time, which is really good when you're weaker, but as you're stronger, it's not really useful anymore. But some are really good, like Neza can teleport. Teleporting is really cool. And Susanoo can shoot like a storm blade out, those are really cool. The weapon system. The weapon system is a lot better, I think less confusing. You don't have to deal with the accessories. Like before you had to do all the accessories, so you're trying to pick, okay, what 5 accessories do I want to use? In this one, you just have the weapon set up. You have 8 slots in it. Once you get your unique, you just dismantle weapons with items, and you sell weapons without, and you get the items you dismantle. You can actually buy the elements from the store, anything below gold, which is nice. That was a big change. That was a big thing I liked. So the weapon system's a lot better. The leveling up system is also really good. First of all, you have training, which allows you to, once you've unlocked all 3 in your camp, you can have 9 people in your roster training while you're running your own battles. And every 3 battles, they finish, which is extremely enjoyable because then you don't have to, again, worry about leveling every character up. It allows you to get work done, and they gain like I think 5 to 10 levels every 3 battles. I think as they get, I think it's 5 when you get to the end. But I was able to easily get like people to 100 just doing that system, which is really good. And then of course you have the skill system where you get to pretty much set up your skills until you're completely finished. The camp menu, I like this menu. I really like this menu. It's not as much time waster. Like with Orochi 3, you're just running everywhere as a time waster. This is not. It's just boom, 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 easy setup. I like this. I like the setup. I also like the fact that you get to see your characters in the background, you know, more reacting and see how well they look. And then again, the controls are really smooth in this game. I mean, this game feels so smooth. I really, again, it goes back to when I say, like, I would never suggest to go back to a previous Warriors game once you played the most current one, as it just feels so stiff. Even going back to the PS3 games at this point is going to feel very stiff versus the PS4 versions. I think you go back to Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate is fine, but if you were to go probably to the PS3 version of Orochi, it would probably feel stiff at that point. So, all in all, it's a really good game. Usually when I rate games, I like to give comparisons, so if anyone's played previous ones, they can kind of see how I compare it. I'll start the first one, Samurai Warriors 3. Samurai Warriors 3, I would probably rate that one a 6.5 out of 10. I mean, it was my first one to get into. It was really fun, but there were a lot of issues with that one. Dynasty Warriors 7, I probably would give it probably, you know, an 8 out of 10, because Dynasty Warriors 7 is really good. Did I play Dynasty Warriors 8? I can't remember if I played Dynasty Warriors 8. Let me check. See if it's actually in my game collection. Wait, my game collection is not here. It's up there, so I'll check later. But I think I have Dynasty Warriors 8. Yeah, I played Dynasty Warriors 8. Yeah, because Jiang Wei. Dynasty Warriors 8, I would definitely give more of an, you know, an 8.5. Dynasty Warriors 8 is really good. Samurai Warriors 4, I would give an 8.5 as well. I would give Warriors Orochi 3 probably an 8.75, as I just really, the system was so much really nice. But I would give this one, you know, 9 out of 10. And again, I'm a big fan of the Warriors series. So out of the Warriors series, I would say that this is the best currently that I've played. I have not played Dynasty Warriors 9, but I've heard that one's really bad. I do want to try it though. But I would definitely say that out of all the Warriors games so far, this one hands down is the best. And if I think there's one thing that Warriors, like, you know, this is one of those games that's always debated because it's in the same category as Call of Duty and sports games and whatnot, where it's pretty much the same makeup over and over again. But I would say one thing that the Warriors series does that Call of Duty doesn't is every single version, except for one version, Dynasty Warriors 9, that I've heard, where they decided to try something totally new with the system, which didn't work out, but was at least an attempt to change the formula. But when they keep to the formula, they always add some tweaks to make the characters better, to make the system better, and every new version is better. And in Call of Duty, you can't say that with Call of Duty. Call of Duty, a lot of people talk about how Modern Warfare 3 was the best one. And so I would say that while this is in the same category of games that don't really change and use the same pattern, this one has a, I feel the Warrior series always has a very good reputation of being better than the last. So if you've never played Warriors and you're just not one for repetitive gameplay, think of it more like Diablo, or more like any MMO you've ever played, okay? It's pretty much the same thing, just different changes. Anyways, that will be it for this video. Again, if you haven't tried out a Warriors game, I highly suggest Warriors Orochi 4. If you can't afford the $60, get Ultimate, which should be a lot cheaper at this point in time. Ultimate's really good. Warriors Orochi 3. I will be doing another video next, which will be a short guide on parts of the game that are confusing, so that if you do have the game, you can see how to get specific items. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe, and keep an eye out for my other videos. And